Great news. The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com. 2022 was a great year. Between myself and Kustom Life, we gave away a ton of cool prizes.
Guess what? We're giving stuff away. Fire 444.
With Trevor, owner of Pandaville.
Hey, you're on.
Killer Wax Triple X Kit.
Square Tank Headquarters.
That looks great.
I'm using Chemical Guys.
Here at Legacy Rag Tops.
What?
Y'all know where I can find a set of spindles for this here 88.
We got React 2-inch drop spindles.
Yeehaw!
We wanted to kick off 2023 in a big way. So we want to thank AccuAir for hooking us up to hook you up. Frank, heads up.
What incarnation? Just kidding. We are giving away this AccuAir E-Level Plus kit. And all you guys got to do to win it is either go to livelifecustom.com or grinder-tv.com. And for every $5 you guys spend on either one of those websites, get you one entry into the drawing. We're good? Recording? Check. Recording? Check. And focus? You in focus?
I'm in focus.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Duh. My memory card has an hour left on it. I didn't format it because I had stuff from yesterday on it, so that might be a thing in a little while. But other than that, it's good.
All right. Well, welcome to this week's show, The Drop of Frank and Brian.
I'm Frank.
That's Frank. I'm Brian. I was wondering. I've been thinking all week. I'm like, well, I wonder how that's going to go down. I wonder what's going to happen with that.
With what?
With like the whole like name thing. Like, I'm Frank. No, and you're like, I don't want to say my name anymore. So I was like,
oh yeah.
I'm curious how that was going to go down. But that's very funny.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Nobody cares. But anyway, here we are. Episode number 36. Episode number 36. Crazy. And this is a question and answer episode. But anything going on besides that?
Nothing. It's been.
Yeah, I know. Me
it's
neither.
It's been a big. What do they call it? A nothing burger.
Yeah. That's
like
pretty much the same thing I've had over here.
Like I'm kind of caught up. I'm pretty much caught up with all my work stuff, and I have 2 Grinder TV videos to edit.
I still have a lot of editing to do.
What do you have?
I have Dino's. I have end of the year show, the Main Truck Revival one. I have Chubbs, and that's it. Oh, and I'm still working on the Freakmaster birthday thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I just been kind of like working on that here and there.
Yeah, I have the Chubbs and Severed, and then I am
caught up.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it until LST, huh?
That's it till LST.
Not bad. I liked your end of the year video. That was really cool. Really enjoyed that one.
That was super fun to put together. I need to do that. More. I have footage for next year's already. I'm like now when I'm recording certain things, I'm like now I'm keeping that in my head like an end of the year type video because a lot of people don't see that footage.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that was for the calendar, right? Like a lot of those shoots.
No, most of that was like Trey 5, Arizona High Test, and then only the photos were from the calendar. And
that black truck wasn't from the calendar. That black square body.
The black square body was. It was for the calendar, but it wasn't in the calendar.
Oh,
that was there's just a buddy of mine that's friends with the other green. There was 2 square bodies. One was like green, and one was black. So the black square body is Josh, and his wife is the one with that dually, the white.
Oh, that's right. And they own the bar, right, in Oklahoma. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. I didn't know you had that truck too. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of cool stuff.
Right on. That's awesome. Yeah, it came out great. I really liked it. Those videos are, like you said, they're fun to make just because there's no like, you're just throwing them together, picking some cool music, throwing them together.
Yeah, there's
there's
no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when we go in to edit these shows, it's like, okay, I gotta
You got to make it make sense.
I got to make it make sense, make a story. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because that one was just the song. I heard the song and I was like, I want to make something to this song. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh. And then I just did it, yeah.
So wait, that wasn't something off of like Epidemic or something? That was an actual real song?
Mm-hmm. That was Flyleaf.
Oh, and they didn't flag you, I noticed.
No, they just
did?
So you can use whatever music you want, you just can't make money on it.
Yeah, no, I guess more specifically what I would say, because like when I hear music like that, I always like drop down the description because it'll have like, music by. And I was wondering about that, and I dropped it down, and I didn't see it. At the time, I didn't see anything. So, I mean, maybe that's changed.
I don't think they put it in the description. They just copyright claimed it.
Sometimes you need to make those things. Like, I haven't made one in a long time, but I was making those like club videos when it was just little bits of pieces of stuff I collected at the club, hanging out, going to shows, and picking whatever music I wanted. Like, oh man, I go back and rewatch those because I like them so much.
I know. I'm the same way. I don't. I want to make more with just whatever music, and I think now with the change that I'm doing, I'll be able to do that.
Oh, you think so?
I think so, because the videos that I'm going to make moving forward, like about like the Chevy truck, right? Mm-hmm. So the Chevy truck series is going to be me taking it to the shop and building it, right? But I think I can in between those, I can just go and find cool trucks and just use the music, whatever music to it. Mm-hmm. Because the other one will be enough to make the YouTube money.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like the regular show one. So like, yeah, I like that. I like that idea. That's really cool. I was kind of doing that with I did a couple of them, like Instagram reels that way. I just used some, regular songs. It's always hard though, like, cause now that we've been doing like a lot of, what they call the shorts on YouTube, like I make these and it's always a little like disheartening when you upload it to there and they're like copyright strike. I'm like, or not strike, but I always say strike and that's not the right word to use, but like a copyright claim.
Oh, onto
YouTube.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, you mean so you take the Instagram off and put it on YouTube Shorts,
right? And then since I've used some like regular music, which I guess Instagram cares about, but not really. I don't know how that all works.
Oh well, how it works is TikTok has made a deal. So you have the three platforms: TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. TikTok, you can use whatever music you want because they made a deal with the record companies where they pay them so much money. So the record companies are like, well, we're getting paid because that's the record company's job is to get paid.
Right.
You can't use their money and make money. But if they made a deal with TikTok to where they can, so if you have over 10,000 followers on TikTok, then you get into the creator program where you can get paid.
Mm-hmm. Then you can't do that.
You can do that.
Oh, you can still do that.
You can still do it, but your percentage, your cut
goes down.
Is so no. It's okay. 0 to 10 to 9,900. You can't 9,999. You can't get paid from TikTok. Mm-hmm. At 10,000, you can do the creator program. Nothing changes, except you're going to get paid. Mm-hmm. But your slice of the pie is so small because they have cut the deal with the record company.
I see.
Now on Instagram, you have two choices. You can do business or you can do just regular. And if you do just regular, then you can use whatever music you want because you're not getting paid.
Right.
Instagram has already paid the record companies or the whatever the musicians, however you put it, they've already paid them with their ad revenue.
I see.
Now, if you go to business, like I'm a business page, so my Instagram, I can't use whatever music I want. I have to use their library and or Epidemic or whatever. Now, you can't. So YouTube is the same way. You can't use on YouTube Shorts. You can't use what they do on Instagram. Allow you to what they do on Instagram because it's two separate things.
Right. Yeah, they're just two separate companies.
The cut you get from YouTube is way bigger than the cut you're getting. That's why they were saying like once YouTube Shorts figures their whole thing out, all these creators are going to move over to YouTube because the cut.
Yeah,
you're not going to get like 5%. You're going to get like 40%.
Yeah, that's the same thing that I heard. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, like all the ins and outs of this stuff. When it's really crazy, all the ins and outs of this stuff, when all we really want to do is just make cool stuff,
Well, not really, because when all we really want to do is make money.
Well, I mean that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Like the TikTok is the greatest one because they allow you to make money and use whatever music you want. If you are in the creator fund or whatever.
You're
like
almost
that.
there, huh? Like you're at like nine something, right?
Yeah, I'm like 10 followers away, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to make enough. Like, you have to make so many views to even get a few bucks on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so what happens is it consumes you because you're just like, oh, I have to go, and I have the opportunity to make money on TikTok. I got to go there and do it. But then you forget about the rest of the things.
Right.
Kind of like YouTube, right? Like, you're like, oh, I could make money on YouTube, so I'm going to, but at the same time, if you just used whatever music you wanted on YouTube, like that New Year video I did, I wonder if I could make the same amount of money selling merch.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So
Yeah.
like I think we've said this a bunch of times before, but I think we get so caught up in the numbers game and the algorithms and like trying to make money on YouTube. And that's such honestly, like a minuscule amount.
Well, that's the difference between us and real YouTubers.
That's yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like real content this sounds weird, but real content creators and real YouTubers that make
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Like they use it as their benefit. We're just like hoping to get a little bit of piece of that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it definitely is a different scenario for us. But that's sort of like for me, like that was the whole thing about creating content on YouTube and creating content in general. I didn't want to be a YouTuber, a content creator. I wanted to sell T-shirts, but I just was like saw these opportunities to put the brand out there and get more people interested in it. So I just use it like as a tool, you know.
And that goes and that adds to that's like poses the question of, should you just use whatever music you want?
I know.
and get into the videos and just like, who cares if I don't make whatever amount of money on YouTube, because I'm going to make that money selling T-shirts because more people are actually going to watch my video.
Yeah,
like,
more people are going to be like, I don't know. I think that's a real like a lot of people like the music that we use. And I think it's just because we're music people. Like we know like how the vibe works and how everything fits. And so like it would be a lot easier using, you know, just regular music, but at least I think we have a good ear for picking good songs because people dig it. I always get people telling me like, oh, these songs are great. Like the music really flows, you know, but it would flow a lot easier if it was just like you driving around and you hear a song. Like I can't say I do that because now I'm exactly what you're talking about, getting so wrapped up into it. Like I don't anymore. But early on making videos, like I would hear songs like, oh, this would be so cool. Like I could just picture it, a truck coming in here and this happening, you know? So I don't know.
It's almost like I'm on that level, that teeter totter thing of like, do I just, because it would make it more fun for us.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would say if I was to just pick cool music that I like, my production would go up tenfold, I think.
You should just try it.
Why not? I'm barely getting any money from YouTube anyway, so
that's the thing. Like
who
we're
cares?
getting very minimal amount of money from YouTube but it's hard to watch that number go down.
No, yeah, even the number, because you know why? Maybe I'm not speaking for you, but for me personally, is I worked so hard to get to this point that it would like bring me down a little bit to see that those numbers dwindle.
It's a mental thing. You go in your YouTube studio. For those people that don't do YouTube or whatever, they have the backside of your YouTube account, and it shows how much money you're at. And watching that go up and down, when it goes down, you're like, You
want to know another little psychological thing that I get caught up in too? Is I'll do that same thing, go to the YouTube studio, look at all the videos, and I'll see all green dollar signs and then one red one. And the red one, oh, that bugs me.
I know I have that red one on that current video that I have, but then I look, my subscriber number jumped more than it has in a while. And I think it's drawing people in to watch the other videos that are monetized.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I don't know what to do. I know it's really interesting. I didn't think we were going to jump into this conversation today, but we're posing a lot of good questions and a lot of good, like, forks in the road, like decisions to be made.
There are decisions. That thing that we'll talk about next week, most likely, or 2 weeks from now is that was okay. We'll talk about this. The OBS truck, that was a big decision to me. Like, I'm putting money into this truck that I want a cool truck anyways, because I'm in a truck club. I like going to car shows. I like having a cool truck. But I'm doing it for the channel too.
Yeah.
So like these financial, they're investments. And I'm hoping that it brings something to the channel. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I know exactly what you're saying because the Forerunner is that. I went through the same thing. Even no. Was I? Yeah, I mean, no, I wasn't really making videos because I got I wasn't making videos because I got the Forerunner in 2012, like end of 2012. So yeah, wasn't. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm like recollecting all my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I didn't like get that truck with the notion that I was going to use it to make videos. But what I actually knew what I was doing was I got that truck and I was building it because I knew people would be into it and they would associate it with the brand.
yeah.
And I think I've said this before, so I don't know, but take this how you want. But I definitely there were decisions made about who was going to do the work based on, sounds terrible, being well known or not.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because here's the question. The bigger question that I always ask myself is, I love trucks. I love going to shows and all that stuff. If you had a regular 9 to 5, like our wives have regular 9 to 5s. If we had regular 9 to 5s, would we take our paychecks and build trucks?
Damn, that's a good question. I think I would, just because this is what I love to do. This is my passion. So I think I would definitely do that, but it would definitely be different. Like the approach would be different, I think.
Would it be? Yeah, definitely. But like, I'm almost thinking, would it be easier or harder? Because the reason I haven't had a bag truck in a long time was because all my energy and money went to starting a business.
Right.
And that business has taken a long time to become a thing where now I have extra money to do those things. Whereas if you work a 9 to 5 or you have a career, whatever, like, you're getting a paycheck and a certain paycheck, part of your paycheck can be put aside for car shows and working on your vehicle.
Yeah.
But when you are truly self-employed, you don't have that, like, whatever money comes in, you're just like, okay, that's my bills. I don't really have a lot to put to the side for it.
I know, that's a really good statement too, because like, that's what, because I'm dealing with that right now. Cause like, I'm fixing the fuel cell in the truck, and that's going to cost a considerable amount of money. And now we're like gearing up to go to LST, and we're gearing up for all these shows. And now I'm like, man, that's like $1,500 that I'm not going to have.
Are you documenting are you going to vlog about the fuel cell?
I am. So there you go.
Your hope, that's the thing, right? So that you hope that that vlog about the fuel cell makes money on YouTube to pay for itself. In order for you to continue making the other videos.
It's a little more, and from my opinion and my perspective, it's a little more like obscure than that. It's not like like me making a video will result in YouTube revenue going up that will pay for the repair to the fuel cell. It's a little more obscure in my mind, because it's like, I'll make this video about the fuel cell. Hopefully people watch it and then be like, hey, you know what? And then hear about the giveaway or hear about something and be like, or hear about the website.
But that's what I mean. It's all a package, like not the actual money from YouTube.
Because YouTube is not going to pay for that.
No.
That's a real wait a long time.
Repairing a fuel cell is not interesting enough to garner the amount of views in order to pay for that.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is part of the journey.
Yeah.
In all of this, to hope that people buy t-shirts.
That's my entire thing since the inception of what I've been doing has only been to sell more t-shirts. Yeah. When I started taking photos at shows, it was only to sell more t-shirts. When I started making videos, it was only to make, like, everything I do, the end goal is to sell more t-shirts.
I have a very funny thing to add to this conversation about selling t-shirts, but we cannot talk about it on the podcast. So remind me to talk about it after the podcast.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's one of the personal conversations. We talk about a lot on the podcast, and we're very open, but there is another layer.
Yeah.
And then people are going to be like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
Are they talking about me?
And I'm not. This is not my statement. I'm just saying that I've heard this before. But what's the saying? Like, if you think someone's talking about you, they're talking about you. They probably are.
Or if you're not like, what is it? Like, if you're not the loud neighbor, like then you're probably the loud neighbor. Or something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah, something to that effect. But I don't know. All we're doing out here is just trying to survive.
Speaking, that's a terrible transition.
Oh yeah, I already know what you're gonna talk about.
I know. I was like, I wanted to talk about that,
and then I had to go and
then
say
you
that.
Just say that, and I'm like, speaking of trying to survive.
Yeah. No,
there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening.
A lot of crazy stuff.
Were you watching the football game?
I wasn't. I came home to watch it. And by the time I got home to sit down, I started seeing all this stuff, these messages go on. I'm like, well, what happened? And then we went to go, obviously, you want to see what happened. We went to go see what happened, and they scrubbed the game. Like, they just scrubbed the whole, like, it's not on any DVRs. It's not recorded. They just scrubbed it.
You can find it, obviously.
I mean, they were people already posting it all over social media.
And it wasn't like bad to watch. Like,
no.
I can't watch when people are like, "Hey, did you see that car accident?
Yeah.
Look at this." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to see that."
Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't bad. Like, but that was a crazy day because when Lindsay posted in the thing about Ken Block passing away, I was like, you had. It's just like I don't know where you were at that moment, but I was like transitioning from coming into the office at night with my coffee and by getting ready to kind of do whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like. So once I sat down and processed everything and started looking at things, and then Will messaged me about the football player.
Yeah.
So I'm like watching that, and then
such a process.
This is a lot. Mm-hmm. This is like all a lot to deal with.
Yeah. So that for us, for me, my situation was we just got back from the mountains playing in the snow.
Yeah.
And so, took the kids up there, and I just got home, and the same thing. I just sat down and I looked at it, and I was like, what? Like it, because Lindsay, like you said, Lindsay had posted that, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And then it just like took a minute for it to all settle in, and it's it's really unfortunate. I feel for his family, for his daughter and his wife mostly. And did you already say we're talking about Ken Block passing away?
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. Ken Block passing away. And there are, tens of thousands of fans who are really upset. And that's understandable. Not to change the subject, but to kind of talk about the same thing. When Kobe Bryant passed away, that really messed me up. I mean, like the Ken Block passing away is very sad, and it's affecting me in a certain way. But Kobe Bryant really messed me up.
I don't know if you remember a conversation that we had. In fact, I think I edited it out of the podcast, but you ever notice that when people on Facebook, like when a celebrity passes away, they're just like, "Oh, you didn't even know him."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then I've seen these same types of people when someone that like a musician that they look up to, that when they're like, "Oh, this really hit me hard," and it's just like, you don't know. Like the Ken Block being in the automotive community was, and all in the YouTube community even, and the watching him like create this whole company and all that stuff was like, that's where my attachment came from with that. And then everyone else obviously in the automotive community had an attachment to him, so it's very sad. And then if you're a sports fan, the Kobe thing affects you in a certain way that it might not affect someone else. So if you're someone out there and you're like, and a celebrity, an actor passes away or an actress passes away, and you see someone like saying that don't make fun of them.
Oh no, yeah, that's terrible.
You know what I mean? Because you might not have liked this person or been into that, but the second someone like you think or that you have an attachment with passes away, and then you are like, oh, it's just it made me think about that, and it's just because everyone's mourning Ken Block's loss and all this stuff, and that's good.
Yeah. Well, for what I think is I read something, it's either a video or something that I watched, but I think in today's society, how we're so locked into like social media and people's lives, this extends to like celebrities. We watch people on YouTube, and I'm sure this is going to sound a little conceited, but bear with me. So like, I'm sure it happens to us too. People watch our content. They listen to us talk every single week. They watch our videos. They follow us on social media. I'm really open with my personal life on social media. And so you start to develop a relationship with this person, even though you don't know them. And there's a word for it, and I don't know it right now, but there's an actual like term for it. And I think that's what happens to people with celebrities too, because you got to think about it. Like, you have your regular life, all of your problems, and when you watch a Ken Block video, all of that goes away. And you're just focused on watching this Ken Block video, and you're focused on him creating his art and doing what he does. When all of a sudden that person passes, do you understand what, like, the sentiment that I'm trying to make?
Yeah,
like,
it does.
You are definitely getting an attachment to these people, even though you don't know them, maybe subconsciously or not.
When I first started watching YouTube, there was the first video I ever watched on, not probably ever watched on YouTube, but that got me to realize that vlogging was a thing, and all this stuff, was a guy named Charles Trippy.
Oh yeah,
and he made a video every single day. He was the first person and he still makes videos every single day. But he was in a relationship with someone, and then so you watch them every day. He's making a video every day, and then they got engaged, and then they got married, and you're like on this journey with them. Then they got divorced, and I remember going, man, that's like, I'm sad.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
And then I remember there was another YouTube couple who were same thing, and then I remember them both sitting down on the couch, and they made a video about them breaking up. And it was just so strange, because you feel this attachment to someone you have no idea who they are. And that's a new thing with YouTube, but that's also a thing that happened with celebrities. Back, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, before there was YouTube and social media, and before there was even reality TV, where people kind of opened up and you saw more of their real life versus their acting life, So when you get an attachment with someone, whether it's Ken Block or whether it's, I remember when Kurt Cobain died, how I felt, and like,
or not, this is way before our generations, but like Elvis
Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy. Yeah, like there are a lot of people upset about that.
Yep.
Like,
so Paul Walker.
That's
I remember when Paul Walker passed, and a lot of people were making fun of other people because they're like sad about it. It's just like,
that's really messed up. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Just be kind, be understanding of everybody, because you don't know what that person or that thing got someone through. What about
you also don't know when it's going to affect you.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know when the person that passes, then you're going to be like, oh well, now I'm sad because this person I was attached to passed. So,
but hopefully, maybe that person has a little bit of introspect and it's like, you know what, maybe I was wrong before. So hopefully no one does it to them. Be like, hey,
I've done that before. Obviously, I've made fun of something or someone, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. That was pretty mean.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So that's really terrible news. And like I said, I feel for his wife and his kid, because being a dad myself and having daughters, like, I mean, like, I don't really need to go into a lot of explanation about it, but it's just like everybody takes it differently. Everybody takes it differently.
Yeah. Such a crazy way to go for someone so extreme.
I know, right? And Will, we talked about that in our little friend group, and Will kind of put it pretty concisely. He's just like, it doesn't take much to take someone out, just the right set of circumstances. So this dude is doing insane level stuff, but it's just when all of those things line up, It's getting a little dark. It's getting a little macabre. It's getting a little macabre in here, but rest in peace, Ken Block. And hopefully the football player from the Bills, he gets better. And we just have to be kind and open and understanding of everybody. I think we'd be in a lot better spot if that was true.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to teach myself that without like going into a lot about it. I'm trying to teach myself to be a little more empathetic towards people. Realize things, realize how people got to the position that they're in, and try to have empathy for that situation.
Oh yeah, that documentary on HBO that you watched.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep, I know.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Same here, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about once we're done here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so you want to get out of that and into some questions?
Let's get into some questions. Yeah, let's turn the page. Let's jump into something else.
Da, da, da. Or we need a little theme song right here. I'll put it in here. I don't know.
Oh, the dropping in. This is the dropping in segment. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hold on. Can you hear that? I think if we were,
I'll hear it when I review the video. I'll hear it, and I'll be like,
I think if I was plugged into the back of this mic, we'd hear it.
I don't know how that works.
Because right here, on the Rode software, it says laughter. So laughter.
Oh, okay.
We got to make the drop the
jingle,
the jingle, and put it in there. So we can just,
So where are we
Insert
starting with? We got
jingle
some
here.
questions. Thanks for everybody for dropping some questions. We got a lot of them. Got
we
a
did.
ton of questions.
I think we're gonna have to. I don't know what you're doing later this week, but we should probably record another episode of just questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought
So
that's
we
what
could-
we were doing next.
Huh?
I thought we were doing 2 episodes today.
Oh, we are.
That's what I thought.
Oh. I don't have anything to do. I'm down.
Okay, yeah, me neither.
Okay.
I blocked off this whole day for that. So,
I almost wore the Stay Low shirt too.
yeah. This is I forgot I had this. This is just some sweater that I made. That's kind of like the liberty I have of like printing all this stuff. Is I was printing your shirts and then I had this blank sweater. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, and I printed it. And then everybody goes, hey, where'd you get that? And I'm like, well, I'm special.
Yeah, I'll sell you one.
I'll say you one. Yeah.
You just have everyone's stuff, but like a hidden back storage of everyone else's stuff and
Right.
hoodies that no one made.
Yeah.
I'm like walking out of a show. I'm walking through a show and I look. I'm like, I never made that in a hoodie.
Frank.
Do you have any questions that stood out to you?
Not in particular. I sort of looked over all of them and kind of like made some opinions on a few, and so I'll let you take the lead. There's only one that I had like I kind of like thought about a little bit more, but there's just one. So wherever you want to begin.
God, there's a lot of them that are gonna take some time.
Okay, I got it, baby. Let's go.
Which is good. Let's go with Kenny Vanderberg.
Oh, Kenny. Thanks, Kenny. Kenny's a great guy.
He says, do you know of any mini truck shows that still have People's Choice Award exclusively, no judges, and how do you all feel about that compared to judged shows? And I think someone also asked a question about classes versus non-classes, but I think we talked about that already.
I think we covered that pretty extensively in our trophies episode, but
Yeah.
I've actually never heard of an all People's Choice mini truck show. I'm sure it could exist in some other, like a hot rod show or some other show, but I've never been to like a mini truck show that was completely that. I think my first like hot take would be that'd be messy. I think that'd be really messy.
I think it would be cool to do if it was just like a cruise night or a free show.
Oh,
I think if you're paying to enter your vehicle into a show, whether it's a car club thrown show like our show, you want their like a judge's opinion versus just a regular person.
And also what that opens up, there was a few comments, opinions that were, concerned about a lot of these shows being popularity contests. I think that would only like make that worse,
Oh yeah. Well, it's just like on Facebook or social media when someone has an online show and they're like, hey, whoever, if this photo gets the most likes. Oh, it's the same with the Street Trucks magazine cover truck of the year. Those trucks aren't trucks of the year. Those trucks are popularity trucks of the year.
Right.
Because it's whoever has the most reach.
A really good example of that is Vic. Vic
Yeah.
does those verses on Instagram.
Yeah.
And those are and he's, I think he said it on his when he was on the podcast, that like that's what they are. They're getting like, it's people like hitting up their friends and like soliciting votes and really which is I mean there's you can't really put a fault on that because that's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's social media. It's like that's like sort of the basis of it all, is just to garner as much attention and likes as you can.
And I also think that if you did build a truck, like say there was like the baddest of the baddest truck, right? Mini truck or full size, whatever it was, right? Like, and it was some nobody that built it. Mm-hmm. And then you had another bad truck that was like, had like a major shop built it, like Kindig Designs or something like that. And you put them both online and you said, vote for your favorite one. Of course, a bunch of people are going to vote for Kindig, but I think the other one would hold up as long as it was nice.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, I think so.
You know,
and that's another, like, Vic's his thing that he's doing is not only like a fun. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Like, not only is his a fun thing to do, like, hold on, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry, I had a phone call coming in. So not only is that like a fun thing to do and it's cool to see how it shakes out, but it's also sort of a bit of a social experiment too. Mm-hmm. You know, you really get to see how the just observing it, you get to see, you know, what's the right word I'm looking for? Just how the whole thing flows together, how things work out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah. That's, I think, you know what? I think that's a really common theme that we talk about is like, just relax, let it sit, you know, just have fun, you know, try to take it the in the best case you can. And one of the questions that I saw was from Louis saying that, like, how am I still salty? And that kind of ties into what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Louis from Flojos asked if I was still salty about his 4Runner beating my 4Runner, which number one, no, because I've said many times before, because his 4Runner is badass.
Yeah.
Like, it is so nice. If you were to just take out like all of the social media-ness of it and you know, popularity contest of it, if you just objectively look at those two trucks, his is much but that's sort of the point, right? The point is if because I'm not going to go out and solicit votes, but if I was savvy enough, maybe like I could do that. Like, objectively, his truck is better than mine, but what about if I went out and solicited votes?
Yeah,
you know,
but if
I
you
do
got
have
on
a
your
lot of
Instagram and shared a link, or got on YouTube and started doing this and utilized the reach that you have to garner those votes.
What do they call that? Mobilizing your followers? Like,
yeah,
you know, that'd be interesting. Maybe I'll do that next time as like an experiment.
Just as an experiment, because I see it with, like, again, with this, my favorite one is the street truck. They call it Truck of the Year, and what they do is they take all the cover trucks and they put them on a link on a website, and then you get to vote for which one is Truck of the Year. And if you follow the shops that have built these trucks, all they're doing is going on their shop,
say, hey,
Instagram, and saying, hey, our truck's up for Truck of the Year, go vote for it.
Yeah.
And imagine if, like, there was a rule and you took the 12 cover trucks and then you told those shop owners, you can't post about any of these on your social media.
Yeah.
I don't want to. You can't put, if we see you pushing it on your Instagram, if we see any of your employees pushing it on Instagram, then you're disqualified.
Yeah, that'd be really fascinating.
It would 100% change the dynamic of it. But then again, would it? Because the trucks are rad too, and word's going to get out anyways, regardless. So I think regardless, whether it's a car show, whether it's People's Choice, whether it's this, whether it's trophies and getting judged, in the end, usually the winners, I would say 80 to 90% of the time, are the deserving ones.
Yeah, I would agree. Because cool is cool ultimately, right?
Cool is cool ultimately.
I'll be honest with you. When I go through Vic's, I just like, first of all, is like one just static drop and one body drop? Like, definitely body drop. Is one a Toyota and an S10? Toyota. Like, that's my thought process.
You're just racist.
Well, I mean, is our truck brands a race? I don't know.
Yeah. Are they?
I don't think so.
It's funny because I don't do that when I do Vic's thing. I look at, like, I just look at, it doesn't, I don't, usually he pits Toyota versus Toyota. And
yeah, he
S10
does do it very
S10,
similarly.
But when it gets down to the thing, but yeah, I won't, just because it's body dropped, I won't pick it. It's got to be the overall style, because there's body drop trucks out there that are ugly.
That's true.
And if your truck is ugly, I'm not going to pick it. I'm going to pick the truck that's cool. And if it's a static drop truck and it's got cool wheels on it, then I'm picking that one.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately won. I think what won was just I think the one that won the last one was the two Datsuns. It was the static drop, like drift looking Datsun, and then the lifted Datsun. So yeah. But yeah,
Whatever.
what was the question, by the way?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I think we got a little lost there, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the choice thing. Yeah, that was
People's choice versus judging.
Yeah, we ended up on a whole different island right there.
Yeah. Well, this is why we have these questions, because sometimes we just don't.
It
know
just
what to
sparks.
talk about.
It just sparks some discussion.
Pick one of yours.
So I had one that kind of like, at first I read it and I was like, eh. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I put some more thought into it. So Wirenut asked on one of the last videos, I think it was the last video, he asked like, what music videos featuring mini trucks do we think are the best? And my first hot take was like, there are none. There are none. Because honestly, all of that music is terrible that they're usually in, except for one. And this is why I'm talking about it, because now I'm reeling it back in, because now I am going to change my opinion. There's one. So about 12 years ago, Travis Barker was working with a bunch of different artists, and he worked with this group called the Cool Kids, and they're a rap group from Southern California. And they did this video called Jump Down, and in the video is other cool cars too. It's like Travis Barker's 63 Impala, and there's some other things, but there are two trucks. There's Body Drop's old green Toyota, the chop top one, and then that
The No Regrets Isuzu.
the No Regrets Isuzu. Yeah. And that's why I was like, oh, that's a cool song with cool artists with cool trucks in it.
The problem with music and mini trucks is a lot of people try to make it gangster,
Yeah.
and mini trucks are not gangster.
Yeah, they're not really.
No, they're not at all.
That's a really interesting point to point out. But yeah, you're right.
64 Impalas on hydraulics and wires is gangster. Like a bad muscle car that's just like, that's gangster, right? That's like ready to fight. Look at a mini truck. It's so cute.
Yeah. It's
You
so
know,
funny.
it's
I
like-
had someone tell me that. I had someone tell me those exact words.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, those are cute. And I'm like, yeah, they are. I mean,
Yeah.
objectively, they're pretty cute.
What else? Yeah, and then the twangy country stuff that they try to.
Yeah, that was. I actually like. I only briefly saw other videos with mini trucks in it, and I was like, as soon as I started listening to music, I'm like, I'm out. I'm not going to watch this whole thing. But so it's interesting you say that, because the music video that I'm talking about isn't trying to be gangster. It's like the Cool Kids is like a very I don't want to say like alternative. That's probably the best way to describe it. They're like an alternative hip hop group. So they don't rap about like money and cars and fame. They rap about BMX bikes and skateboarding and like all of these like other kind of like alt things, you know.
There is a song with mini trucks in it that's sick.
Which one's that one?
It's an old one. It's an old hip hop song, and I shared it in our club group that one time when we were asking about songs and stuff like that with mini trucks in it.
I don't remember that. You'll have to.
Sitting on Chrome. Who sings Sitting on Chrome again? MC Breed?
I have no idea.
Hold on. MC Breed mini trucks. I'm gonna have to find it. No,
Yeah.
I shared it. It is, and it's super sick. But it's
I gotta check that one out.
It's old. It's like 80s, 90s, or early 90s.
Oh, so it's like old mini trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what are some music with mini trucks in it? What are some music videos? The ones that I can think of.
And that's the thing is like I know there are mini truck or music videos that exist with mini trucks in them, but I couldn't tell. I can only recollect the one.
Was it Black Eyed Peas had the S10 in it?
That's right. Yeah, they had that. Yeah, they had that extra cab S10. I think it was an extra cab. I don't know.
Yeah. I made a music video with mini trucks in it.
Wait, which one? The graffiti truck?
No, with Humpty Hump.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We shot it in downtown LA, and then we shot it
That's
at the
right.
and we shot it at the
Relax show. Yeah, the Relax show.
Yeah, when straight Shock G Humpty Hump rolls into the show, and people were like, "What is that really?" Like a lot of people didn't think it was him.
Yeah,
And I was
because
like, no,
by that time he was pretty like an obscure
He was very
character.
like,
Who also passed away.
Yes. Yeah, he had just gone into if you were following his genre and him, then he was very well known, but like the popularity part had gone away. So
You know, so again, like many times we talked.
That video was terrible, by the way, too.
Oh, it was? Okay. All right. But you made it.
I don't care. It was sucked.
Oh.
Well. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot, but I don't make music videos. I've made 2 music videos in my whole life.
You made that one rockabilly one too.
And now I really like that one. I was happy with that one.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
The song was really good. And I don't want to say the song wasn't good with but you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I guess there are many like I said, my first hot take was like nothing. And then like every other conversation we have, we go, well, what about this one? Oh yeah. Oh, what about this one? Oh yeah.
So here's the thing.
Hold on.
If you guys know about music videos with mini trucks in them, DM us.
Yeah. Tell us. Yeah, why or not? You tell us what.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't know anything.
Yeah. So you need to tell us. Yeah. Watch, he just drops like all of these like dope videos. You know.
I know.
And we're just looking dumb.
Okay. We're good at that.
We're used to that.
Yeah.
I just want to really touch back on what you said because it's really kind of resonating in my brain now that mini trucks are not gangster. How true is that statement? Like it's just it's. But then again.
Now, if you take a large group of mini trucks and put them on the freeway and throw a bunch of sparks, then I don't want to say that's gangster, but you know,
it's definitely cool.
It's definitely like, it's definitely cool because like when Low Life was doing it, Domination, Surface, like when they had that, when Surface did that big old, that big old one, and it's just like it's like powerful and like power in numbers. But if you get like a little Toyota truck and it's cruising down the road and you try to put some Snoop Dogg to it or something, it don't work.
You're like no. But then again, to like contradict ourselves once more, like you were saying it in the 90s. Like they were making videos like Sentras with, you know, big systems in them and stuff. Like, I don't know. I guess, you know what it is? It's attitude.
It is attitude.
It's all in the attitude. So you can make anything look cool if you got the right attitude.
Yeah. But imagine if you're like in South Central and like, and you're in a Sentra, like an old box style Sentra, right? And on wires, and you're just like with the vinyl top or whatever, the suede top, and you're like, and then an Impala pulls it next to you and they just look at you.
Yeah, you're
just like,
sorry.
I'm going to go away.
That's hilarious.
That's how I've always looked at it. And obviously everything's different, but I've always thought that was funny when people tried to over gangsterize mini trucks.
So great question. Like a great question that kind of like those are the best questions when they're very offhanded and we're like, I don't know, but then it turns into like this little great conversation. So that was a good one. Thanks, WireNet.
All right, I have another one from YouTube.
Okay.
This is a good one. This will take up a little bit. Okay, it says a lot of shows that you guys, this is Mini Truckin' Life on YouTube. I don't know their real name because it's just a YouTube name. Says a lot of shows that you guys go to are well-known or proven shows that have been around a long time. What would you have to see to consider attending a first-year or new show? Is it the flyer, multi-day run, location, hosting club, etc.? Also, Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year to you too, Mini Truck Life. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the question because it's a really, really, really good one.
That's a really great question. So, and I put some thought into this one. And I just had another thought pop in my head because we're talking about new shows. We went to Rolling in the Red Rocks last year, and that was a brand new show. We had no idea what was going to happen. But what
made us go to that show?
I was about to say, like, it was Graham coming to us and kind of like saying, hey, look, this is the show. This is what I plan to do. This is what this is. You can definitely see that there was effort involved to make it a big show. Like if someone said, hey, I have this show, I'm throwing this show in, I don't know, random state, Georgia, you know, like I'm throwing this show in Georgia. Hope you guys can come. And actually, to be 100% honest with you, I get this a lot. Like, hey, I'm throwing a show in Georgia. I would love for you guys to be there.
Yeah.
And it's hard. And I always say, again, be kind. I always be kind and say, okay, well, cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for the info. You know, definitely think about it, you know, but Graham, a long time ago, he said, hey, I'm thinking about putting together this show. It's going to be at this location, and I plan on getting this many people there, and I'm going to do all this. And so your first hearing that, you're like, okay, cool, that sounds like a good idea. And then you just see the effort that goes into it, him going to a lot of shows, always saying, you know, promoting his.
On that subject with Rolling in the Red Rocks, it's just a track record, and we know him. So it's not like, because there's other people that throw shows and put a bunch of effort into them and say they're going to be big and all this stuff, but I don't know who that person is.
That's
so it's
a big part of it too. That's
so
true.
A lot of it's just knowing, it's just who you know, and having a good track record at things with him and Slamfest and all this stuff. So
well, that's I didn't
and
true.
And for us, a big thing where us going to a show is we have to think about cost, because again, we don't work a 9 to 5 that's paying to go to the show. The show pays us, that we make money at shows, which in turn, so it's not like we get to go home from the show, go to work and make a paycheck. It doesn't happen.
Right.
But so yeah, it's definitely about like how much. It sounds bad, but how much income am I going to make at this show? It's right back to your part. How much effort did this show promoter put in to get people at this show, so that I know that I could possibly make at least my money, like the trip.
Yeah. And you said that sounds bad, but that is the reality of it. And even then, even after even like seeing all that come together, we're still taking a risk. Like the first time we went to Mini Nats, we had no idea what was going to happen. You know, we just decided that like, we're going to take this risk and we're going to see what happens. Yeah. So it's not just like a thing where, oh, tell me about your show and I'll be there. It's like we have to put a lot of like thought into it and like you said, try to calculate out the cost and what it's going to take to get there. And, you know, like there's a lot of factors involved.
And I think going to a show that's quote unquote proven, like LST, Mini Nats, Battle and Bam, something like that, like to me, it's a safety zone. I know what to expect. When I see a new show pop up, I'm like, I'll give you a perfect example, Scraping the Rockies. And I don't actually think that, I don't know how new that show is actually. I know it's either been around or.
It was around for a few years ago. And then it was a freak show. And they went away for a few years. And then now a couple Freaks members are like redoing it, doing it again.
So I'm like thinking about that show and I'm like, okay, for me personally, I'm like, hey, it's 7 hours away. This is how much the hotel costs. This is how much this costs. I want to go to the show, but I think about all those things.
Yeah.
But now what's happening now is I'm hearing a lot more people talk about it. Like Kim and Glenn hit me up last night and they're like, hey, are you going to Scraping the Rockies? And I was like, I know Frank's going, you're going for sure, right? So like 100%.
Yeah. Well, and really quick from my perspective on that one, was I saw it as an opportunity. Like there are not many big shows like in the middle of summer that we travel to. And so, you know, my kids are always like, we want to go. So I was like, when I heard about that go on, I was like, that's the perfect time.
Yeah. Cause you're going to make a vacation out of it.
Right. And that's sort of like one of the byproducts of what we do, you know, and I've said this a lot of times before, is just going to check out cool places. So like that one, I was like, oh, what a great opportunity, you know, take the kids, go check out Colorado. I've never been there before. So yeah, that was my.
Well, do you know what you're doing? Because it's like not Denver, Colorado.
It's like very south. It's like the southwestern part of Colorado.
Yeah.
And so I was just gonna drive up. We're gonna go to Aspen, which is about 5 hours away. But like we just kind of made that decision. Like, yeah, you know, it's kind of not close to anything, but at least we're already going. You know. Yeah. And then go and like I've said before, it's just, you know, we're. Yeah. It's like you get to do fun things and make a little something while you're doing it, you know?
Yeah, because you're 100%, and I was like 50% on it. But then when Glenn and Kim hit me up last night, they were like, "Yeah, we're probably gonna go," and I was like, "Yeah, Frank's 100%." I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "But the more people that go, then I'm like, oh, then this becomes a thing, you know?" Like, and the weather, that's a big thing because I usually go down to the coast, the southern coast in June for scraping the coast, and
that's not fun.
It's not like obviously the show's great and all that stuff, but here's the other thing. You know, when people talk about proven shows or that, and that's a proven show. Like I know that's a safe show. I'm going to go there. I'm going to make money, make a video, all this stuff. But I did it since 2015. You know, some of these events, you know, I've done for so long. I do want to take that time to go to other events. Yeah,
which is that's a good question in its own. It's like when, I mean, look, we go to LST every year, we go to Mini Nats every year. LST we've been going a lot longer than Mini Nats. You know, Mini Nats, this will be our 3rd year going, I believe.
Yeah, that's a tough subject too, because you don't want to be like, say an event promoter is like, oh, you've been coming to my show for 3 years and now you're not, but you're still going to this other show. You know, like why? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then like also another challenge is going to these shows multiple times over and over and over is like trying to make fresh content from them.
Yeah.
Because like after a while you fall into like LST is a pattern.
Yeah.
I get to your house. We go to Junction. We stop at Bucky's. We get to the show. We drop the trailer. Like it's like how can it's so challenging, which I guess is good. Like it should be it should be challenging to make stuff, but it is frustrating at times. But I thought I had this random thought one time too. It's like the promoters who you know are, how do I word this? The promoters who are like expecting videos, you know, to be made about their events. Like, I think from their perspective, they honestly don't, I don't want to say they don't care because like that's a bold statement, but I don't think it bothers them when it gets repetitive because ultimately like all they're trying to do is get more people to come to their show. Yeah. So, and what it does is even if you made two videos, like if you made the LST21 video and the LST22 video, the exact same, at least there's a 21 and a 22 and the show promoter can say, look how consistent my show is.
Yeah.
You know, and then they can show it to people and say, hey, look, every single year, this is what we're delivering. You know, so I don't think they're too necessarily, that's a good way to say it. I don't think they're too necessarily concerned with the content looking similar. They're concerned with just having it to show people.
Yeah. I guess from like a promoter's point of view, I look at it like LST is just positioned perfectly because if I don't go to LST, then I have to wait until like April. And I don't want to wait till April. Like now towards the end of the year, I go, okay, cool. I'm ready for a break. Right now, I'm like, I'm excited about going to LST.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And so, and if I didn't go, and it's not that far from me, like in reality, I could make that drive in a day if we really, really wanted to. A very, very long day, obviously.
Which we tried to do with Last Resort. It didn't work.
Yeah. Well, Last Resort's a little bit farther.
Yeah. Well, a little bit, but it's
if we really wanted to, if we really tried, we could get, because I've done it a million times, get from here to LST or whatever.
Houston, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you make it to Houston and you don't make it to LST.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. I know what you're saying. No, I'm just saying make it because, like, you know, you call it Conroe or call it, you know, Last Resort. That's that hub. Houston is like that hub where everything sort of is.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back on that person's question, just like we don't honestly, you know what it is, to be completely honest, is like for me, I don't have a formula. I don't have a certain criteria that you got to meet for me to go to your show. It's circumstance. Just like you said, you know, it was Graham's show having all of these factors saying, okay, we are going to do this. And then it's the Colorado show that's like, hey, everything works out really well and want to take my kids on this little vacation.
Yep.
Like that was the deciding factor. You know, I don't know. Honestly, like there is a pattern involved as far as like kind of knowing what a small show versus a big show is going to garner as far as sales wise. So I decided like, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity to take the family out there and go have some fun. I pretty much know what to expect as far as sales are concerned, and I'm comfortable with that. And you got to go like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
you know, so
that's a big thing when it comes to sales too, because when as long as you in your head. Like we went through this at Last Resort, remember? It's like there's some shows that attract a ton of people, and some shows that don't, and so sometimes you just have to calculate that in your head, and it's like, okay, at this show I'm going to make probably this much, because in this show I'm going to make probably this much. You just go into it knowing that you're this, and then if you make more than that, then it's better. But yeah. I don't want to say like anything bad about any show, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what happens to us sometimes is we try to be so careful with what we say and how, you know, people take what we say.
Yeah.
But, you know, we also have to be pretty honest at times, you know, and honestly, and that's a subject that we have to tackle is we have to take all these things into consideration because like you said, this is our income. This is the way we make a living. So we have to make smart, calculated decisions.
And just because like I don't do well at a show doesn't mean you're not going to do well at a show.
Yeah, that's true.
There are events where you do a lot better than I do, or
and
sometimes
vice versa.
Yeah, it is what it is. So don't think if you're listening to this and you're a vendor and you're like, oh, I'm not going to that show because don't.
Yeah.
It's not even.
It's all circumstantial. It's all personal experience. There's so many factors involved. So I'm sorry we didn't answer your question. Like, I wonder if that person has a show they're trying to get us out to. They're like, how do we get these dudes to come out?
Pay us.
I mean, that's honestly it. Like, let's be honest with ourselves here.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll tell you what costs a lot of money: hotels
And gas.
and gas.
If you are contributing to any two of those factors, that makes it.
How stoked are you though right now about going to LST with like $2.60 gas once you get out of Phoenix?
That's going to be, hopefully it holds, because if you remember, I think I said this before, but last year we get out there just going on along our merry way, and we get to Junction, crash, and a war breaks out, and gas went up $2.
Yeah, but we didn't really feel the impact of that on that trip though.
We felt
Felt the impact of it when we went to Mini Nats.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah, definitely.
That's when we were just like,
yeah,
like our trip just is now costing us a lot more. But
Right.
hey, guess what? We did it.
yep, we did it, and here we are. We're gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it again, and here's the funny part is that the amount of gas money we paid for higher then is lower now, so now it balances out.
Oh, there you go.
It's almost like getting paid back.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah. That's a good. I like that. That's a good way to look at it. I'm gonna look at it that way.
Yeah.
I thought you would honestly. What I thought you were gonna say is like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna do it again, and we are going to. I'm gonna drive from here to pick you up. Then we're gonna drive all night, get to Mini Nats, and then we're gonna make show coverage, and then the cruising at night. Like, the video is gonna be exactly the same.
I know. Well, are you ready? Are you ready to go to some shows this year in not the Titans?
Yes, that's gonna be cool. That's definitely gonna be cool. I'm excited for that.
I know I want to talk about it, but I can't. Okay.
Yeah. Right. All right. Next.
So what do we have?
Tune back in a couple weeks.
Tune back in a few weeks to figure out what the heck.
How long
we're
have we
talking
gone in this one? Where are we at?
We're almost to an hour.
Oh, okay. So maybe we could switch gears and open up the next episode.
Oh, you want to just stop this one right now?
Well, I mean, we're getting pretty close to it, and then we can get two episodes. Because like I said before, I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled next Monday, so I don't know how next week is gonna go. It's either gonna I'm gonna get them done and then just kind of be like, oh, cool, everything's fine, or it's not gonna be.
Oh
fine,
no,
so.
I'm definitely 100% good with filming another episode right now, or recording another episode. I'm just saying, is this where you want to cut it off? Because the people listening right now are like, well, we have to wait another. Not that they care. They're like, well, now we have to wait another week, but you guys only have to wait a couple minutes.
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and hopefully you'll turn in next week to hear the conclusion of this riveting.
We're giving away Acura stuff.
We are giving away Acura stuff. I'm so excited about that.
That commercial came out funny, man.
Dude, yeah, it was fun. I had a ton of fun. I love the way, yeah. So like that, I think we found our stride in that with like me just kind of throwing a bunch of ideas together and then like kind of like doing a rough edit, and then you take it and you like polish it and it comes out so great. Like just like, the little things, like the little thing of you cutting the Dwight part into two pieces where it's running over the box and then doing the whole thing, and at the very end he goes, it was great.
Yeah.
It was so great.
I loved it. Yeah, and it's just adding, like, I sped up the truck footage because I was like, Frank, you drove so slow. I was like, no, I wanted you to rip down that street, and I wanted you to barely see that truck just whoo, and then dust behind it, and I'm all. And this is Frank. He's like this. I'm all.
Boom, boom. But then behind the scenes, my kid is standing off throwing the box because I didn't have any. Angie wasn't here to help me.
Yeah.
So I told my kid, I was like, "Hey, you want to make a commercial?" And she's like, "Yes." Yes. So I said, so that took a lot of planning too, like telling her, okay, we made an X on the ground. I'm like, you got to throw it right here.
Well, you realize that you could throw the box, go get in the truck, and drive over it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to happen in one take. If you watch that video, if you watch that commercial and look at the footage, the background when the box drops, the cars you can see the cars. I think that's Bear. Is that Bear Valley Road?
Yeah, that's Bear Valley.
You see them and they're like this. And then as soon as the truck comes in the picture, they go.
That only adds to the enrichment of the experience, I think.
I think so, because I think it needs to be cheesy. It can be cheesy and then a coating of cheesiness on top of it.
Yeah.
Because we're not trying to make like this polished thing.
Right. And also you got to notice that like the box you threw is rather large, and then the box being thrown is just this tiny little box.
Oh,
like,
you changed the box?
Yeah, I didn't use the regular box.
Well, that's why I sent it to you.
It's so perfect though. It fits all the stuff in it. I was like, I'm not gonna mess up this box. Well, plus like it took us a couple takes, so we had boxes ready to go.
I guess we should think about that now. When you get boxes in the mail from like Amazon, hold on to them.
Yeah.
Because you might need to run them over in one of our future commercials.
But that's the thing. It's like when it's like when someone's doing something and they like jump off a roof and then they just throw like a dummy and obviously it's a dummy. Like,
well, then you should have used a white box.
Oh yeah, like something completely different.
Yeah, because I had no idea.
Or something else.
I had no idea that was the different box. I was like, oh,
that's good.
Yeah. But next time, dude.
Yeah.
It should have been like a 4 foot by 4 foot box.
It's giant box.
Like it grew.
Yeah.
Like I threw this little box and then it lands this huge box and then the truck just hits this big old box.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's a good one. These are a lot of great suggestions. Maybe we should have had a little production meeting before I started.
No.
Because like, are we going to drop another one? Because there were more like scenes and stuff to that.
I think we're going to have to re-record some stuff.
Okay. Well, and also we need to remember to now we need to record in portrait mode.
And we need to record in both. Okay. Because I think we're going to put these on like this, or it doesn't matter, but definitely portrait because we get way more traction on Instagram.
Yeah.
Versus versus our YouTube channel when on the giveaway part of it. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to need to do just something else.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but just something totally different. Like
just mix it up.
Just mix it up. Yeah, like I have some ideas, but we'll go over that in a minute. Anyways, go to our websites and buy stuff.
That's it. We're giving away AccuAir E-Level Plus kit. Go get it.
And I've got a couple new shirts on there that weren't on there in the prior giveaway. They've been on there for a couple months, but they weren't in there. So, and then I'm hopefully going to be adding a new shirt very soon. Yeah,
same here. We should have some new stuff over the coming weeks because, like I said, we're preparing for LST, so we're gonna have some new stuff.
Yeah,
but cool. But hey, again, websites. Go check it out. Go buy stuff. Get into the drawing. Thanks for checking out this week's episode. We're gonna record another episode right now,
and we will continue Monday.
For the following Monday. We'll continue the question and answer portion of the show. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.